Chairperson Shirk.
Here.
Vice Chair Borst.
Here.
Commissioner Ozawa. Or
Here.
Member Ozawa. Member Pearman.
Here.
Member Trenoweth. Oh, quorum is present.
Very good. Public comments, please.
Okay.
Can we look at
Rod Holmbeek,
Oops.
tree lover and itinerant tree hunter. And I have something for
It's a
Terry.
new one.
You weren't here. Oh, you may now turn your pages over.
Oh, what was this?
Okay. Okay. During the,
Oh, sorry, Rob.
During
Can you
our-
give your name for the record?
I think I did.
Did?
Yeah.
Didn't get to hear it, that's all right.
Okay. Anyway, during the, I guess Arbor Day, which we're going to talk about, or you're going to be talking about later.
Yeah, right after this.
Okay. I tripped on this Hankow willow tree. It's on city property. And it's, one of my jobs for the state is that I help with the big tree list. And look on there, like under willow, you see that there's a nominator? Okay, see, about the fourth column over to the, okay, so anyway, I could put my name in there to nominate it, but I'm on that list 33 places. Okay, I don't need any more. Okay, and what I would like to do, and I've read here that you can't really do anything about it right now, but I'd like to put Carson City Shade Tree Council as a nominator. And this list is going to come out in a couple months. So could you put that on the agenda for next time? Or whatever you need to do. To accept that you will be the nominators rather than me.
And we'll discuss that at the next meeting. Is anyone else confused? Rod, can you,
Next meeting is in August.
Rod, can you explain one more time? You want us to be nominator for which trees?
Well, okay. Okay. During the, at the aftermath of the Rainy Arbor Day celebration, I was wandering around. I tripped on this willow tree that's on Thames Street or whatever it is. It's on the east end of the park.
Right.
And Roger and I took a look at this tree, and we found out it's on city property, and it's the largest Hankow twisted willow in the state.
Oh, okay.
I know these things.
Okay.
So I would like it to be, it's going to go on the list. We can go under my name or you guys' name. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
The list is the Nevada Register of Big Trees, is that correct?
That's correct.
So we're going to add this tree
Right.
as the council. We'll
But-
put that on the agenda for next time.
And this tree is not listed, the tree you're referring to is
That's
not,
correct.
is
It's
not
not
on
yet
the
on the
list.
list.
So that's the 2012 list.
Right. So anyhow, we'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay, thank you, Rod. Any other public comments? If not, moving it on to agenda item 1, we need possible action and approval on minutes from the last meeting. I'd just like to state that I was not here for the last meeting, so thank you to Vice Chair Borst for covering the meeting for us. I'll leave it open for approval.
Okay, I'd like to move that we approve the minutes of the last meeting of the Carson City Shade Tree Council.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I just want to thank the staff for getting these minutes. They look beautiful. There's some sort of new format. We got them really great, and I appreciate it. Item 2, modifications to the agenda. Anybody want to modify anything? Moving on, item 3A for possible action. Any absence of any council member today? We're all here.
We're all here.
We do have 2 vacancies, though. Want to remind everyone. All right, moving on. Agenda item B, this is discussion only. We're just going to give a little debriefing of our 2015 Arbor Day celebration, which was April 25th. Oh, sorry, 26th it says on here. And it was at a beautiful location, Long Ranch Park in Carson City. I want to thank the members of the community that showed up, our Board of Supervisors. Jim Shirk is here. Lori Bagwell was here. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. Supervisor Bowd, Mayor Kroll, and Supervisor Bonkowski was out of town. We had a great dedication ceremony and tree planting. It rained, the heaviest rain of that month. I don't know. It was pretty intense that day. So our run walk event didn't occur. And I'll let the council discuss the event. Anybody have any comments?
Actually, it's not so much a comment as a suggestion. The turnout wasn't all that great. We had the people from the Desert Gardens there, but we hardly had any athletes that would have been interested in the run if it would have taken place. So compared to the previous year, that's a negative trend also. We didn't have any sponsors for this. I don't know why. So apparently they were not too impressed with what happened last year. Anyhow, I still would like to give it a try again next year, because we also had a lot of competition. There were several runs in this area, also down in Carson Valley, and other events that I wasn't aware of until just a few days ago when I saw all the advertisements for this events coming in. So it was a really bad situation for us. I would like to do it again, but well, since this year the athletes didn't come to us, let's go to them. We have the athletic center open by that time, and that place certainly needs a tree, so that would be a great place to plant the tree for the Arbor Day ceremony. And that's also where we could have our 5K run or 1.5K run, and if it rains, we can do it indoors. So that is my suggestion for how to handle the Arbor Day celebration in the future.
Great.
So just to clarify on the location of the MAC, that's right next to the Boys and Girls Club, is that right? And I agree, it definitely could use a tree. My only thing is Longview Park was, it's a much more friendly place to run. That area, it just looks better. It looks like it's more, it's not as much travel as far as cars. There's a big subdivision out there, and kind of where this, where the MAC is. I'm not sure exactly where the route would be. That's my only problem I have with that.
Well, there's a bike path that goes all the way to where Walmart and Home Depot is. There, I don't know about the marsh on the other side of the freeway, if that would be suited. But we got a year, so we can look at things and figure things out, and we don't have to make a decision today. This is just discussion now.
There may be some potential for a five, up to a 5K route there. As Jens mentioned, we do have the North Freeway pathway that parallels the freeway going north all the way. In fact, it goes all the way up to, almost up to north end of Carson Street. And you could take a little jaunt through the Fullstone Wetlands, which is right across the street from the Boys and Girls Club on North Ridge Road. And that's a DG surface, which would be nice to run on. And then we have two parks in the North Ridge area, and pedestrian walkways and bicycle routes that even connect those parks. So there might be a possibility. We could certainly take a look at it and see if we could map out, some type of run. But, I a little bit following up on some of Jens' remarks, I do think the wet weather was, pun intended, a damper on the event. And I think that contributed to the low turnout to a large degree. After we left and after Rod and I spent some time looking at the tree and I was going back to my car, I did have about 3 or 4 people come up to me expecting to have the run. So they thought the run was still going to be on even though it was raining. So I think there was some interest in the run, but I think most people thought that, the rain would probably would cancel it, which it did.
I did challenge everybody to run, if you all recall. I was ready. Roger, can you mention the tree dedication ceremony that we had for our former mayor?
Excuse me, you're talking about Mayor Marv Texera?
No, at our,
I'm sorry, yes, we did, we had
his
a,
wife and
excuse me.
I don't want to say the garden club's name wrong.
Yeah,
but
it's the,
I'm looking for it.
it's the Desert Gardeners Garden Club. And you're right, that was, they donated the tree for the Arbor Day ceremony, and it was dedicated to, now I hate to mention your name because I'll probably do it incorrectly. Yeah, it was our current treasurer's mother-in-law. And I apologize that I can't remember her name right off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, I didn't even put you on the
Well, that's
spot. I
right,
was
that's
looking
okay.
for my records too.
Yeah, that's okay. And but it was a beautiful tree. It was a ginkgo tree, which is a tree that our staff believes that we should be trying and using more in this community. And so it's going to be a good tree to kind of test to see how well it does. But it was a beautiful tree, nice ceremony, and I apologize, I can't remember the woman's name who was the tree was planted memorial to. And they are going to be having another tree planting ceremony. The same group, the Desert Gardeners Club, is going to be planting a tree in Carriage Square Park, I think this weekend, as a memorial to another former member, a deceased member of their club as well. This will be a total of 3 trees they've planted in the community. It might
And
be something we want to think about for
Yeah,
George Washington Ferris Award.
I knew you were going to say that, right?
Okay.
I do want to thank the city staff for the Arbor Day event. We did put a lot of time and energy into that event, and when the weather started turning the day before, I just knew it was going to be a damper on our run. Roy did win the George Washington Ferris Award. Roy, very good. Congratulations again. Terry, go ahead.
Just wanted to say I did distribute flyers all over town and had received expressed interest in the run. And for sure, like Roger said, the weather wiped it out.
Well, thanks again for everyone for all your hard work for that ceremony. Thanks to those who attended, and we'll do it again next year. All right, any public comments on the Arbor Day event that we were there? That we had? Thank you. Okay, item C for possible action. Now we're going to talk about the planning of our fall tree care workshop. We had already discussed in the February meeting that our event will be held on Thursday, November 12th. Here in the community center, as always. This is our 21st annual Fall Tree Care Seminar/Workshop. We've put together some details, some logistics. We're going to talk about them now. I know Rod's here. We'll talk a little bit about some of the speaking points. If you recall from the February 26th meeting, I came in with a full laid-out agenda. We did a couple things this year, and the council put together agenda as follows. We're going to do the seminar from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It'll be a total of 5 hours of class instruction, and we'll just be having coffee and some sort of breakfast donut type snack in the morning. And for lunch, participants will be on their own. They can venture out into the community and have lunch at one of our many fine establishments. So I'll turn it over to the council for discussion. We need to plug in a date for the registration discount. Any discussion topics?
So the discount to the Fall Tree Care Workshop, what do you guys think would be a good date in which they'd have to get it in to get a discount? And then the discount being $10? I think that's fair.
You know, you don't want to turn them off so much that they won't show up at the door if they miss that deadline.
That
So
line.
I was just thinking a week before. We don't have to cater a big lunch.
I'd say just November 1st.
I agree with that. I had them look that up. I think that's a Sunday or something. You want to give a day of the
So-
week?
Sunday, November 15th? Is that the
That's-
date?
No, the event's the 12th.
Oh, I apologize. November 8th is a Sunday.
No, we don't want a Sunday.
We don't want a Sunday.
Oh, we want a
Gotcha.
work day.
What day is the first? Should be a Saturday.
Or you're saying the first of
November is a Sunday.
November is a Sunday, so
Okay, then November 2nd.
November 2nd's a Monday.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that in as November 2nd is the deadline for early registration.
Well,
Register
that's a suggestion, we gotta
for
vote
early.
on that.
Oh, okay. Well, once we get everything done, then we'll take a vote. Okay, we're going to talk about, some of the marketing and some of all that in order to get attendance up. We've talked about this a lot, which is why we're to the point where we're at. We know what we need to do to market it. I brought that up in the February 26th meeting, and we've got our next meeting to finalize it and get invitations and things like that, so. What do you think? Jens? Can you get that flyer together for us?
I can get you the most beautiful flyer as soon as I know what our itinerary is.
Yeah, we'll finish this up and then, when's our next meeting? There's none in June or, wait, there's no July, no August.
August.
I thought we took summers off.
August we will have, and then again in October. So
Okay.
August we should,
So this will be on the
Yeah, but
agenda
too
in
much,
August. Maybe
yeah.
you can have a rough draft for us, Jens?
I can
Even
have-
if we can just, we'll plug in more things there. Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Good.
Regarding the speakers and presentations, thought crossed my mind it might be a good idea to find out if the Desert Gardeners Club has anything to offer that we would like to have in that seminar. Again, because of drought situations, and they seem to be or can be expected to be knowledgeable about those things. So if Roger could get in touch with them and find out if they have something they would like to contribute, and I think we should give them the opportunity to be part of that event. Thanks.
I know that is a good idea, Jens. I know we have a pretty extensive list here. We have 5 topics and a list of possible speakers exceeding that already. So between now and August, we'll try and narrow down the speakers and plug them in as a final in August, and that's plenty of time. I love that we're so ahead of ourselves.
Well, then at the August meeting, Roger probably can tell us if it would make sense to invite them or if it's not suitable for what we are trying to give.
Rod, what are you going to talk about? Come tell us. I mean, it says here.
Yeah, I know, it says, I don't know, I never do two the same, so I don't know.
Oh, is that what, can you come up here and tell us? Just so I can. Just so it makes our meeting more exciting.
Rod Hollenbeek, itinerant.
My
I don't have a topic, I was surprised to see my name on there. I guess I should have looked the other day when the email came in. But
Are you going to do my favorite 20 trees? Is
I
that the one?
could.
I mean, that's what it said.
Rod, I think that's what you mentioned at the last meeting.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I've given a lot of talks, and no 2 of them have been the same.
Okay.
Okay.
No 20 trees have been the same, probably.
That's right, it's not going to be the same 20 trees either, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Okay, good. Thanks, Rod. So I just, as I mentioned, this is the 21st annual Fall Tree Care Seminar that the Shade Tree Council's been doing. This is one of 2 of our major events and focuses. We do charge for the event, and we do use it as a fundraiser for our council. We did dramatically reduce the fees this year and the time, so it's not all day for those that are sending employees or taking time off work. When something like this has been going on for 21 years, I think it's real important that we recognize the importance of it and the importance of the time that we're going to put into it. So we're going to talk about it briefly here because we put so much time into it before these meetings. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and we want to make it as educational as possible. And I think one thing we're really going to focus on, and we've talked about it plenty, is the marketing of it, the invites, getting people to come to this event. So that's really important to us. I think it's important to the community, and whatever employees and employers and city and staff, whoever can, send your employees and participate in this. We do offer credits. The International Arborist Society credits. Am I saying that right? ISA?
International Society of Arborists.
Thank you. I was close. So we do offer credits for that if you are an arborist. And again, I'll reach out to the list of arborists that I talked about at the February meeting. And if everyone could just keep a file on this project, it's our biggest one. And we can't even if it's raining, we don't care because we're inside. So this is a really exciting event. We're not doing any traveling. We're not doing any field trips. So it's normally pretty cold in November. Hopefully it's a wet winter. So we'll be in here and we'll be warm. So no matter what happens, we'll be here. Is there any further discussion? I appreciate everyone's time on this. We'll put together a rough draft and we'll talk about it again in August. Any public comments?
Question over here.
Sure.
Just so I can kind of start planning the use of the room, what were the hours we were talking about on
Right,
the seminar?
8 a.m.
Okay.
and till 2:30. And I have a rough outline, Roger, I can give you from when I brought this in before.
That'd be good.
Just not starting till, 8:15. And I had it laid out, 45 minutes a topic, time to pass out, the crossword puzzle, and break for lunch, and then come back and, I'll just give you this.
Does this time frame include the launch?
Yes.
I'm not so sure if I want to have the lunch or everybody go out on their own, and then we don't know they all come back at the same time. So maybe we can discuss this a little further at the next meeting.
Well, I mean, we got it already narrowed down as far as that goes. There's 11:15 to 11:30 break where we kind of, break up, and then it's 11:30 to 12:30 lunch hour, and they come back, and if they want their credits, they have to sign out at the very end. We don't pass out that credit roster until the end.
Okay.
Do they also sign in at the beginning?
Of course.
Are we going to have a field trip to the
Greenhouse
to the
orchard.
greenhouse again?
No, there's no field trips in this one.
Okay, that saves a lot of time.
We did that a couple times. So we'll keep in touch, Roger, I'll keep in touch with you, and we'll talk about it again in August. Oh, thank you, Jens, for that save the date flyer you did, right, for the seminar? Didn't you do something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I remember the same.
Right?
it was intended for people who participate in the 1.5K run.
Could you send that out again?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Can we have
I
copies of
still-
that?
I still have it.
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have
Let's cycle it.
Did
Cycle
we,
it
did we
through.
print, I think we printed a few of them.
Yeah, we may have, if you have that electronically.
So you
can
should
send it
still
to-
have the file, but I can send you the
Okay.
file again. And I don't think, no, there was nothing specific
Right,
on there.
yeah, it was just.
So we don't have to worry about
Right.
changes. Okay,
If the
I'll send you a
council-
copy.
And now that we brought that up, if the council, when we do receive that, can spend some time passing that out in the community, that would be huge. Just, why not?
And I was
Great
thinking,
flyer.
it'd also be good if we could send it out to city employees too.
Oh, they'll all get it.
Can email blast, that kind of thing.
Terry?
One of the fun things I noticed was I took flyers to the legislature, and the sergeants at arms of both branches said that they would get copies to every representative's desk. And you saw how many showed up for the run walk.
Yeah, that weather really got
That
us
weather
good.
really did it.
Okay, everyone good on the seminar? Thanks again, everyone, for all your work in there. Roy, don't worry, I'll put you to work that day. You'll be in charge of registration. Right? Okay. All right, public comment? Final question? Are we
Well,
good?
Chair, are you ready to take any action on this item at all?
Yes, thank you.
I think the
We're
one
gonna-
thing you did talk about is maybe possible action is the date for the discount, and then the amount of the discount.
So if someone, we want to make a motion for that final registration date and the registration fees, we can lock that in.
And you might include the hours of the seminar.
Okay? 8 to
And-
2:30.
And I think that's probably about the only thing you really have on here that.
Okay, I'll open it up for, who's making a motion? Jens?
I'll make one.
Terry?
I would like to move that we finalize the date and time for the November Shade Tree Care Seminar, 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on November 12th, and have the cutoff date for the discount of $10 on the fee to be November 2nd.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, public comments on this topic? Moving on. Agenda item D, we're going to just discuss briefly the agenda item here that the staff has selected a consultant, Dale Carlin Consulting, to perform our tree inventory for us. And the best part about this agenda item when I read it was this sentence here. Staff is still confident that the inventory will be completed by this summer. We do have a deadline, so it's great that it's going to get done. We're moving forward with that. I appreciate the city staff and all their work on this. Any other discussion? And I think it's important to note that the Shade Tree Council getting this grant from NDF to do a tree inventory is a huge accomplishment. So this is part of a huge plan that started with Roger and Dave Hallett from NDF, who's not here today. Congratulations, he had a baby. So the work that was put into getting this to this point, that it's here now, and that, you know, our inventory is on track is just amazing. So, Gary?
I had a quick question just on how they go about collecting
I'll
the
let-
data. How does that work?
I can have Roger or
Well,
Rod.
they have and in fact, I might be able to bring a video at the next meeting, maybe that kind of demonstrates how they do that, and possibly an update on the inventory and where we are. As mentioned in the agenda, we had a little bit of a hiccup in the city, in that our contract manager left the city, resigned, and so that kind of put all of our contracts, kind of delayed them all temporarily, but we're catching up, getting up to speed on that. But they have field workers in the field, and this particular consultant happens to use an iPad type of device, has the software built into the iPad, and uses that software for locating, and a GPS locator to locate the location of the tree, and then has a software package that it does a quick measurement of the tree and fills it all in the software, species, size, in terms of DBH, the diameter of the tree at breast height, location of the tree, species, and a condition class of the tree. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I was just wondering how there wasn't any, because if it was measuring height, how would it pick up, would it pick up a shrub or that kind of thing? So obviously it must have like a parameter set. Is it like a Google Earth overlay?
No, it's actually a technician in the field walking the streets. Yeah, yep, walking the streets and walking the parks. Yep.
Thank you.
Really cool, though, to get an inventory. This
Yeah,
is
that's big.
big stuff for us. We're really excited.
Next time around, we can probably do it ourselves with our Apple Watch.
But we still want that grant money, NDF. Okay, any public comment on our tree inventory? Okay, moving on. Non-action items, anybody have any reports only, status reports, announcements? We'll just go down the line. Terry, what's new?
I have nothing.
Okay, so I just want to report, I'm going to be talking with Roger about getting on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors. I kind of mentioned this briefly at every meeting, about talking with the Board of Supervisors about the landscape standards that are in place and advising them of, you know, the standards that we put into effect to regulate the urban forest on public and city property. It covers everything except private property. Any new construction, multifamily units, things like that. The landscape standards are thorough and precise, and we're going to be talking to the Board of Supervisors about that, just to let you know. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Public comments? So a couple future agenda items here for Item 5, we're going to talk about the Fall Tree Care Seminar again. Jens, you want the tree initiative on there again?
No,
Okay.
but I think we should, even though it's still before the Fall Tree Seminar, we should start making plans for the Arbor Day celebration.
Yes. Can we put that on there?
So not to waste any time.
Thank you. Public comments as we close our meeting? With that, I will look for action on adjournment.
I would like to move that the June 3rd meeting of the Carson City Shade Tree Council adjourn.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Quick meeting.
I tried it.